Okay, there we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I should be live here on Twitch, YouTube, and Patreon. Thank you, Genmo, for the 63rd month over on Twitch. We are here, of course, for Survivor 50 episode 6. This is what I think is happening. You can tell me if I'm wrong. Please tell me if I'm wrong. This is my understanding of what is happening tonight. Number one, it's a 2-hour episode. I think that's the part I'm least sure about. Number two, there's we're going to be interrupted for roughly 20 minutes at about an hour into the episode for a Trump something or other, you know, I guess explanation about his ballroom or something. Emily, thank you for the 20th. Red Wings, thank you for the 53rd. It ends at 10 with an well, it's a 2-hour episode that's interrupted for 20 minutes, right? So like, isn't the idea that we will end the episode at roughly 2 hours and 20 minutes in? That's my understanding. Yeah, 10:20 Eastern, 7:20 Pacific. I will not be covering the Trump speech. So we'll just chat in here. But here we are, episode 6. There's some kind of I think there's some kind of twist. They teased a merge, but it's potentially some kind of other twist. I'm not sure what it is. Don't tell me. I don't need to know. But I think it's 2 hours for a reason. It's like a little bit of a special episode. So we've got that ahead of us. By the way, if you have been enjoying the sort of resurgence of Survivor, Australian Survivor this week had a string of excellent episodes. Overall, it's been a good season. I think, like, the worst of it is not that bad, and the best of it has been really good. Like, I haven't been entirely sure how I felt about it at times, but like, hard to not feel like this is actually a really good season of Survivor. So definitely recommend checking it out. I do have some coverage for it here on the Patreon. Just released today's episode. They do multiple episodes a week, yes. They do like Big Brother style. They do 3 episodes a week, and they're long episodes. That's been the biggest detriment for me, trying to keep up. But the Patreon kind of keeps me invested more. So I'm able to follow along a bit better, which I like because I'm enjoying the season. And yeah, jet lag has been amazing so far as well. I'm only 2 episodes in. I haven't watched the new episode yet, but really good season of jet lag. What sets Australian Survivor apart from regular Survivor in a good way? Well, there's a couple of things. One is that the editing is different, which is nice. Even if you don't love it, purely in the sense that it's different. It gives you a little bit of variety in Survivor, which is very like refreshing. Number 2, it's a lot longer. The 28-day thing has been like, or the however many days, it's like it is what it is, you know? Doesn't really bother me. But it's something you notice on Australian Survivor that like they're getting skinny out there. Like it's been a while. And they're doing more variety in their challenges, I would say, for the most part. More physicality to it mostly, but there's a lot of that going on. And then the other major thing that they do in Australian Survivor is there's a lot of myth building. They love their big characters, and they love like the players themselves love telling their stories. It's hard to explain until you see it, but it's again just kind of a different flavor of Survivor that is kind of fun. And what I will say is that like I have been completely unable to predict the trajectory of this season, whether it's because I'm unfamiliar with Australian editing or it just is a season that has been pretty unpredictable. Like it just continues to zag every time I think it's going to zig, which has been great. So that's my main thing. Am I planning to get a haircut before the next Big Brother season? No joke. About 50 minutes ago, I was in the middle of getting a haircut. It was a very small one. But this is generally the hair at the moment. Put me on to jet lag, been going through the backlog. It's been great. I also recently finished season 3 of The Genius, and I'm starting season 4 very soon. And House of Villains again is airing with Tyson and Paul from Big Brother. So that's been pretty interesting. I'm ready for that season to start speeding up its pace, but has otherwise been pretty fun as well. And yeah, $1 Million Secret season 2 coming soon. I genuinely think $1 Million Secret was a really fun show. I'm pretty pumped for season 2. But yeah, all this stuff, all this coverage on Patreon, of course. Yeah, the structure of House of Villains is actually pretty Big Brother coded. to the point where when I talk about it, I use Big Brother terms instead of whatever their terms are. I don't even know. There's like top villain or something. I just call them HOH. There's like something about, I don't even know. Their nominations, I don't know what they're called. And then their HOH competitions like a free for all. I genuinely don't know. Supervillain is the HOH. Hit list is the nominees. There you go. We are close to. Oh, I should have tested the sound already. Actually, close to the episode starting. Let me test some sound here. Who hears this? Who hears this audio? Oh, I realized the people that can't hear it wouldn't necessarily know what they're not hearing. Patreon, do you hear it? They don't hear it. Okay. Sometimes the Patreon chat doesn't automatically scroll down and I don't realize that I haven't been seeing it. Why is Patreon not hearing it? Because you're on track 4, but you should be on track 1, right? How about now, Patreon? Still no. Broadcast. Oh, right, because that is supposed to be 4. What if I do this? Does that change anything? Why are you not hearing this? This is why I should have done this earlier. Oh, it's not coming through there. Oh, okay. I think I figured it out. How about now? Boom. And how's the volume? Loud. Let's drop it. How's that compared to me? A little better. I can go more. Go like here. Or here. Has CBS said how they will handle the interruption? I think it's just going to be a pause. Keep giving me feedback on the audio if possible. Yeah, you don't. I'll just put it on the screen. Audio good. Perfect. All right, we're starting now. Interesting that we're resetting that. Man, Charlie v. Rizzo. Who could have guessed it? Thank you for the subscriptions, by the way. A bunch of them. Emily Red Wing, Nella, Wust, Trisher, Magiera, Fortified. I'll keep going later. Now it's a little quiet. Oh, that's funny. Great response by Jonathan. First time blindsided. Zero ego, zero frustration. Great response. I've heard about Pocopia. If I don't like Animal Crossing, will I not like Pocopia? Probably not. I also don't really like Minecraft. I just don't like games that require me to figure out what to do. Does that make sense? Give me tasks and I do them. You tell me I need to like create something. I'm like, wow, I gotta plan it out. I gotta force myself to figure out what I want to do today in the game. That's my life. All right, we're through the credits. I got a message. So I genuinely don't know what's real. Oh, I forgot to do a prediction. Sorry about that. I knew I was forgetting something. Commercial by 513. Whoops, it's only 30 seconds. So funny when you're waiting for me to skip stuff and I can't when it's live. Yeah, I know. I feel the same way. The extra vote. Oh, I forgot he had an idol. Given to him by Genevieve? He also tells Christian. Wow. I think that goes to prove how little Dane, like, not only was Angelina not voting Christian last time, but this is how locked in that he actually seemed to have Ozzy. It's not really 25 years of gameplay anymore, though. I really need Christian to get a cooldown episode. Everyone's doing their bits. And that's a commercial. Okay, this should now be muted. Hopefully for Patreon. Next. Prediction. Does Jeff show up? My next prediction is, does Jeff show up at any point in the next segment? So I believe they were just saying 17 is the biggest merge. I wonder if anybody here has the actual stats. What was the next biggest merge? $14, says Carrie. So that's pretty big. Am I well? I'm feeling pretty well. I still feel a little like I'm still like kind of recovering or like getting back to normal. I went climbing today and I tired out pretty quick. I felt like I didn't have a lot of I couldn't recover very easily. But I feel fine otherwise. I was sick. I was sick for like 2 weeks there. Anyway, couple more subscriptions here. Flinzel, Switch, Amy, Dolores, 425, Sardonic, Craig, Jazz, Tweak, Grun, Tom. Oh, Tom says 2 hour. Yeah, it's 2 hour episode. JV, Ivy. There's Tom. Charlie disappointed me with gameplay. He had too much emotions from his past season. Yeah. Ryan, Miss, Economist, Ren, Captain Goldie, Tracy, Kentucky. So many subscriptions. Thank you guys. Tracy, Cam, Snazzy. Snazzy's a follow there. Economist again? Or did I miss it? Misread it before. Ash and Goldie. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all for all of the support there on Twitch. I think we'll be back very shortly here. I think there's definitely a twist. I don't know what it is. I think some people might know what it is. But again, we're just gonna let them tell us. That's so funny. Oh, Suri gave up the... Well, you know what? It was going to go out. Well, to be fair, Genevieve, you were wrong when you said it. Oh my god. I'm so curious about how this actually leaked. This is funny. This was an inevitability with the boomerang stuff. It's very true. There's so much happening. Man, Jonathan's like a big character. Keep your options open. Ooh, okay. There's a lot to gather there, and yet still so much I wish I knew. Jeff did not show up, but let's run it back. Does he show up this time? I'm noticing too that we're pretty solidly sticking with the same narrators. Like, Merge is a spot like this is a time, an opportunity to introduce some new big characters and narrators. But for the most part, we've pretty much stuck with Christian, Devins, Jonathan, Rizzo, Sari, Ozzy, Genevieve, Aubrey, which have been kind of our primary drivers. No Camilla, no Tiffany, no D. Or at least very little D. Stephanie's absent. Colby kind of dropped off after the first couple of episodes. He's kind of disappeared. We did hear a bit from Joe. Chrissy absent, yeah. I have seen there's been a lot of discourse about gender disparity in the edit, which has always been an issue with Survivor. But I actually don't know if it's worse this season than normal, but it's being talked about a lot more than it has in the past. I think primarily because some of the women are speaking out, especially like Chrissy. Typically how Survivor works is that if it's a male dominated season or a male winner, the season's really lopsided with male confessionals. And if it's a female dominated season or female winner, then it's pretty balanced. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is what the edit probably should be. And then when it's men, it's like, well, what can we do? They're giving us the content. If a woman wins the edit, it's about how a man lost. Sometimes, for sure, for sure. Sharks. They're doing something here. Is this Jeff? Doesn't look like Jeff. Jeff doesn't wear hats. Like, not that kind of hat, at least. Tiffany! All she needed to do is go and get the envelope. Oh boy. These are the worst. I hate everyone go find thing segments. Rizzo's gonna find it. He was relaxed and he still didn't find it. I think one of the first things I'd do if I was gonna go on Survivor. Oh, poor Colby. Is talk to the contestants about like where are things usually hidden? Because this is what I'm talking about with Christian. Like, you're probably not going out in the middle of nowhere. You're probably sticking to major pathways and big landmarks. And Ozzy finds it. Is this the first time he's found something? He's going to exile. Rizzo? I feel like it has to be good. It would be so wild if it were really bad. I mean, maybe the person being taken is much more likely to be in a bad position, but how do you put the person you take in a bad position and not the person that goes in a bad position? Like, would you really, like, because the obvious thing is, like, one of them gets eliminated. You vote between the two of them. They have to compete. One of them gets eliminated, whatever. But that would be so absurd to say, go find this thing, and then the person that finds it is in a 50-50 bad spot. Like, that's so stupid. Okay. Prediction, big result, no Jeff. But so let's run it back one more time. A bunch of people made, or a small amount of people made a big amount of money there. One more time. Does Jeff show up in the next segment? I mean, ultimately, I think it is a good call to not bring an ally. Just in case. Because if it's like a good thing, oh well, you can't protect all of your allies anyway, and you don't want to remove your allies' votes from the next vote. You also don't really want like an enemy if you can help it, because you might need them for something. But, you know, ideally, you know, somebody that is not a vote with you, but is not an enemy. Probably, unless you're on the wrong side of a majority that they're on. Rizzo's idol's out of play if they don't go to tribal. Assuming he didn't have... Well, he can't hand it over, right? Billie Eilish idols only work for the holder, I believe. But... So yes, if he's not there, both him and Ozzy, their idols completely out of play if they're not going to tribal. Misc, Kentucky Blue, Marldon, Aaron, and Ice, thank you for the subscriptions. And we're back. Oh, I think Jeff's gonna be here. There he is. All right, it looks like there's 3 colors. Good chance we're dividing them into groups. Groups of 15, you take 2 people out, so you can make groups of 5 out of 15. Already, thank you. No, you didn't. The entire show is not in the hands of the fans. No, they didn't! That's not a direct quote, Jeff. It's what, gonna be like a triple eviction? Because everyone loves triple evictions. The hamster wheel. All right, get to it, Jeff. Okay. I think Mr. Survivor has shown up here in a weird way. Is Blood Moon just your word for triple eviction? Not 1, not 2, not 3? Or not 1, not 2, 3? All that preamble for a triple eviction? Come on, bro. I want everyone on social media to call this triple eviction and not Blood Moon or whatever. So Ozzy basically won immunity from a triple, which is pretty huge. Definitely would have been nice to be picked. All right. The prediction is going to be which group lasts the longest. Which group lasts the longest is the prediction. If for some reason... Okay, yeah. So we for sure get a group lasting the longest. Prediction is live. Oh boy. All right. What are these groups we're looking at here? Christian with Aubrey and Genevieve. Oh boy, that's pretty good. Hopefully. This is the under-edited tribe. Jeez. Orange. Okay, I think I feel okay about that group. Little concerned about Cerie's group. I wonder if this is potentially it for Jonathan. Oh, Emily down. That was a hard landing too. Oh. Yeah, she looks like she's hurt. Oh, Colby. Oof. Is the opposite of that D? Down goes Devons. Oh, I'd love for Kristen to just have immunity. Oh, these drops are hard, man. Oh, I don't like that. They couldn't give them like a bit of a softer pad to drop onto. Coach VD. Beat by JT. A winner not that dissimilar from D. Here we go. Man, Christian has like the hardest group. Why did D get the easiest group? She didn't need it. She did not want to. Down goes Tiff. Yeah, so Christian's group still the hardest group. Aubrey down. Christian, let's go! Oh, I'm so happy we don't have to worry about Christian. Christian's group not the hardest. I take it back. Orange lasts the longest. Ooh, they were the least chosen as well. Come on, Chrissy. No, don't do it, Chrissy. Hold in there. No. Ah. Immunity number 2 in the career. I feel the same, D. No need to be saying that out loud. Say that to us, not them. You know what they should do with Christian and Rizzo is allow them to choose a tribal that they want to participate in. Where they, I guess, would have to have immunity because they didn't compete. Ozzy and Rizzo. What did I say? I said Christian. Sorry. As I say that, I feel like it probably just adds too much complexity to something that's already pretty complex. I think just leaving them out is probably fine. Two TIFF confessionals is, yeah, that is actually concerning now. Okay. Which group do we come back to first? Christian's group? Cerise group? Stephanie's group? Or Exile? Okay. Yeah, we are getting cut off in roughly 10 minutes. So we will have time for one more segment and then we will be cut. Faith, Belladonna, Cito, Ton, thank you for the subscriptions. Okay, let's try. You know what? We'll have a lot of time during the break to really try to make some predictions for each group. But we can kind of start now. Christian's group has Rizzo, Aubrey, Genevieve. Sorry, not Rizzo. Jeez. Devins, Aubrey, Genevieve, Christian, and who's the fifth? Joe. So theoretically, was Joe on a tribe with Genevieve? I think he was, right? Theoretically, Aubrey, Christian, and Devins should control that vote. Unless Devins and or Christian actually want to blindside Aubrey so that the idol comes back to Christian. Second group, D, Coach, Suri, jeez, Emily, and Colby. Emily and Suri should be together. Jeez. Coach and Colby are together. That leaves D as a potential swing. D was with Suri. Colby doesn't have a vote still? Okay, so Suri's looking okay there. Final group, Jonathan, Chrissy, Tiff, Camilla. We're back. I do think Jonathan might be out. I think his visibility was perhaps for this. We came back to exile. Wow, Christian still can't miss a tribal. He'll never miss a tribal if this is real merge. Him, Emily, and him and Emily only now. He knew that, right? I thought everyone kind of knew that. No, no, because that's what Genevieve didn't say. Rizzo doing well here. You know what, too? Remind me to... I'm going to make a point when we go to break. Remind me of it. Okay, you know what? This actually does look good. And it actually is making me hungry. Usually the food doesn't look very good. Tiffany has had a massive visibility spike. It is concerning. I mean, I feel like obviously we've been primed to root for Chrissy here. So Tiffany coming out of the gates against Chrissy, and we don't really know who Tiffany is because the edit hasn't shown her, is bad news for Tiffany. Unless she's being set up as a little mini boss villain. Okay, so I think we're probably going to be interrupted before we come back. So, Suri fairly recently had played, to my knowledge, I think she played Australian Survivor before this, right? She did Australian Survivor versus Australia versus the world. Then she came and did 50. Now, I'm going to give, not massive, but I'm going to give you some potential slight spoilers for that season if you haven't seen it. If you haven't, check out my coverage on Patreon. Something that Suri was able to observe, that I think a lot of us were able to observe watching that season, is that returning players who did not make Final Tribal but think that they would have won if they had made it are very easily tricked, or at least more easily tricked, into taking big threats to the end because they believe that they will win if they make it there. All they need to do is make it there, and the correction of their game is to take a safer path to the end. They're less concerned about winning jury votes because they still believe they're the person that would have won if they had just made it. Rizzo is 100% one of those people, right? Rizzo got cut right before the end, fully and firmly believes that he would have won if he had made it there. And you have to imagine that he's going to try to play a game, and if he's playing it with Suri, maybe even a game that's willing to bring Suri to the end or risk Suri getting to the end, as long as he can make it there. Because there's not many people on this cast that will do that or even think about doing that. Now, Ozzy is an interesting one in that he has experience going to the end with Yule and losing. Oh, are we back? No. Oh, we are back. For how long? Okay. We are now interrupted. Okay. So, what was I saying? So Ozzy's an interesting one to consider with that in mind, considering that he went to the end with Yule and lost, but he only just barely lost. And ever since then, I think he has had that mindset of like, just get me to the end again, and I'm right there. So, on top of that, him being Ozzy, I do think that Ozzy is one of the other few that might be willing to bring Suri deep. So, her identifying these two, I think, is really interesting. Because, like, think about it. How many other people are willing to bring Suri to the end? Maybe Coach, but she hasn't had an opportunity to work on him until now. Maybe somebody like Jonathan, but he's a little, as you can see, like, he's a little too in there. Maybe someone like Joe. Which she definitely had time to work on, but clearly, like, their philosophies, they were not able to super lock in a relationship. And at the end of the day, Joe, let's be real, is like not the guy you'd expect to like lock in with Suri necessarily. What's Big Brother Canada news? Here's what I'll tell you. Before you consider any news that you hear today, look at the date. hate April Fool's Day. Yeah. You know what's weird though? Like, I feel like we as a culture, as a society, have adapted to like AI and stuff so much that like I'm already on the lookout for things that feel fake. So like I've been seeing some fake things, and without even thinking about it being April Fools, I've been like, this is probably fake. And then realizing afterward, like, oh, it's a joke fake, not a regular fake. Yeah, just let me know if he pulls out a NATO or something, you know. 'Cause otherwise, I don't need to hear about his ballroom and whatever other nonsense he's gonna say about Iran. We all have it on mute. Okay. I want to lock in. I think interesting that we got Tiffany going against Chrissy, because I really did think there was a chance it might be Jonathan with his visibility here. My guess would be that it's either it could be Tiffany, because Chrissy, Stephanie, like Tiffany says, I've got Jonathan and Camilla. But was Tiffany really with them like that? I don't know. Jonathan was on the original tribe with Chrissy when she was on the outs. Vibes are telling me it's Tiff or Jonathan. But obviously, Chrissy was the one named in danger, so who knows? Camilla seems safe. I really think it's Aubrey or Genevieve. I think that's finally coming to a head on Christian's group. I think it's gonna come down to, does Christian want the idol, or does he want an ally? If he wants an ally, they just take out Genevieve. If he wants the idol, they blindside Aubrey. And then in the middle, I think Suri, Emily, Joe, D Coach. Was that what it is? No, Joe is with Christian. Right. D Coach, Emily, Suri, Colby. Ooh, this could be bad for Colby. Don't you think? Emily, Suri, D feels like a voting block. So it's between Coach and Colby potentially. And Coach has a really strong edit. especially compared to Colby. I think it might be Colby. Coach is a merge boot, maybe, but like 3 people are leaving. Yeah, and Colby doesn't even have a vote. So we can't even use like a shot in the dark. I don't remember why Colby doesn't have a vote. I'm not gonna lie. I think he went to an advantage thing once. He lost to Savannah. And I guess he's just never been to tribal. That's so brutal. If your tribe doesn't go to tribal, so you can like just tank that vote loss, and then you get stuck in the merge with no vote. It's really rough. All right, give me some questions. We'll start to, we're 10 minutes deep. We got 10 minutes to go. Hit me with some questions. We'll chat. We'll chat a bit. Christian will work his magic to get Aubrey voted out for the boomerang. I think it's possible. Did I watch the Artemis launch? I did not. Step count these days, I'm currently at 15,200 something. That's from the Australian episode plus current. Thoughts on the Australian edit so far? I've kind of enjoyed it. It's a little rough around the edges sometimes, but it's still kind of fun. Who has the best winner edit? It's a good question. I think Rizzo has a decent one. Christian has a decent one. Weirdly, Coach and Jonathan both have decent ones. Devins, Suri. I think there are a lot of people still live. Favorite Korean Genius player so far from seasons 1 to 3? It's got to be my guy Sangmin. What kind of walking pad do I have? I have an Ego Fit. It's my third one, though. It's my third one, and they're not cheap. They're in the cheap category, but it is still not cheap. Now, to be fair, they sent me replacement for the first one. I have tried others, and none of them have worked. This is by far the quietest, which is the most important for me when I'm recording. I recently tried a Lifespan, a really expensive one, and it was super loud in comparison. I have to send it back. If I weren't doing streams, would I get a louder one? I'd consider it. It was pretty loud. How up am I for new Devil's Plan? Oh, I'm so hyped. Patreon coverage for sure with Devil's Plan. That's what we started Patreon with. Will we ever see me in Goose Goose again? I'm sure I will at some point. I mean, I did it basically for what, like 5 years straight? Because basically two things happened. One is that I really did finally start to get bored of it. And two, with the Patreon work I'm doing, I'm a lot busier in the off season than I normally would be. So it's really useful to not have a massive stream on the weekends. EgoFit is the brand that I have. Ugh. But it's not, I wouldn't call it a recommendation. It happens to fit it happens to fit what I'm looking for, but it doesn't really fit what I'm working for because they always break. So it's just the closest that I've found for my specific needs. And it's far from perfect. How close is Genius to Devil's Plan? They're very similar. Devil's Plan is like the direct sequel evolution from the Genius, I would say. Imagine going to a live event showing. Oh my god. What breaks on it? I don't know. It just kind of... So one of them just started making a really loud noise. And then the second one started smelling really bad. Like a really bad... like... It wasn't like smoky, but it smelled like it was emitting some kind of chemical. This one's been okay so far, but it's still pretty new. Never used Patreon. What's the basic difference between Ground Sport and Cool Kid Club Card? Ground Sport gives you most content. Cool Kid Club Card is the live content, like right now, if you wanted to watch Survivor with me. And in general, just like the major CBS shows. Like Big Brother will be one of them as well. But there's a ton of other shows that are on the other level. Yeah, Traders counts as one of them too. Basically, like the big show, like Traders, Survivor, Big Brother, pretty much. The ones I'd be... ones we have to keep a little more gated. Think I'll watch any feeds on Patreon? I could see it. I could see it for sure. You often listen while working, so Devil's Plan doesn't work for you. You can't understand just listening. Yeah, that's fair. Would I watch BBUK or BB Australia? I've watched bits of BBUK and one season of BB Australia. I generally don't care for either format, unfortunately. Would I watch Australia Traders? I'd consider it. Any chance Rick is in danger? It's possible, but it does feel pretty like it feels strange for it to go that way with both Aubrey and Genevieve there. Can I rank the Genius seasons I've watched? 2 right now is my favorite. 3 and 1 are close, but I think I would probably go. I think I'd have to go 3 and then 1. I will tell you, I was a few episodes ahead on the Genius, and then I got sick, and so I had to burn my banked episodes. So now I'm not ahead at all. But I have recorded episode 1 of season 4, and I thought it was great, great premiere. Yeah, jet lag has been awesome. Have I been asked to do jet lag? I have not. I would do it though. I would do it for sure. I don't think they would ask me. Like, I don't quite fit their demographic, if that makes sense. They typically pull like educational creators that are bigger than me. And honestly, I don't even know if their audience would like love it. I saw a thread on their Reddit that was like, when are we going to get Ludwig on a season? And there were a bunch of people that were like, ew. He's not educational. He's a slop creator. And I was like, are you watching Tip to Tip? Because, like, it's pretty good. If Tip to Tip can't get you cred with that audience, I don't think I'm going to make it. All right, I think we're about to be back. By the way, highly recommend Tip to Tip. Ludwig Ogren on YouTube, currently posting daily vlogs as him and Michael Reeves they did Japan. They're now doing China. They're traveling from a place that is the southernmost area of China to one of the northernmost areas in China. And they're doing it without any translation. They've studied a bit of Chinese or Mandarin. And no maps, no phones. And there have already been some like pretty wild stuff going on. Very good content. Especially like you guys, because you guys are like you most of you I'm assuming like the daily updates. Getting some like cool daily content like that is very fun. Very fun for me because I don't get my own. Man, I really thought we were like about to come back. We are like past 20 minutes at this point as well. Read the book. Thank you. Or have the book, finally starting to read it. Thank you. All right, I think we are about to be back here. And here we are. We are back. We restarted the segments. Well, it's kind of the ideal ratio. That's how you do it, Aubrey. Very smart of her to say that, because obviously she recognizes that they might be incentivized to vote her out so that Devins gets it. This takes her off the table. So this is how it could be Devins. Christian as the swing is rough. It's the best argument she had. The sinking ship argument is the one that Christian tried to use. Or sorry, Mike White tried to use. And he's responding exactly the same way. I think this obviously makes a lot of sense to Rick. He argued with Joe, and it's a little safer for him. I think Genevieve's play there was start with how she started about I've heard you and Devins are really tight, and I want to work with you. Where do you want to go on this vote? Allow it. I'll give Christian some incentive to keep me around instead of trying to push him somewhere. Ideally, the seeds sink in and he takes a shot at Devins. But backup plan, at least he has more reason to go Joe. So I just talked way over D, but... Stress fracture. Oof. There it is. This is sloppy. I mean, it's coming to coach. See, we saw coach make a big mistake, but in confessional, he still looks good. He recognized it, was like, I'm not going to make that mistake again. Very, very good at it. Why would you imagine that from coach that he'd be chill? That's the opposite of coach. Who do you think this is? Do they have some weird perception of who coach is? Why is this surprising? How is it not coach? I feel like his edit is too strong. I actually could really see this being Emily. But Suri would have to go with it. She disagrees. See, I'm not with Suri here. I think I get where she's coming from. You know what? If I were on the beach, I'd feel the same way. Suri doesn't see the edit that we see. It's a good argument, but it's a double-edged argument. I have more influence. I can help you more. The other edge of that sword is I have more influence. I'm more dangerous. Ooh, interesting stuff. I feel like edit-wise, it just has to be Colby. I could see it because like Emily's been pretty dunked on. I could see it randomly being Emily. But I think Colby makes the most amount of sense right now. Genevieve and Joe. I feel like it's probably just Genevieve. Although Joe makes a lot of sense. Because, like, the whole Genevieve-Aubrey beef isn't resolved if Genevieve leaves here. Whereas Joe doesn't really have much more story. The most story Joe had, beyond bonding with the bros, was his feud with Devins, which would be resolved by this vote if he were voted out. Yeah, that's fair too. Like, even if the edit wasn't telling us the coach stays, the fact that Suri doesn't want coach gone should tell you a lot. And then we haven't seen the other tribe beyond the initial reward. Tiffany saying, let's do Chrissy. Prediction. Let's see. Who gets a confessional first? Chrissy, Tiff, Jonathan, Stephanie, Camilla, or other. Basically mostly banking on it being that group. But small. Maybe not small, but there's a chance it's not. Oh, are we back already? I might need to end prematurely. Oh, no, not back. So that interruption went for what, like 25 minutes? Which means we're still over an hour in at this point. It's 21. It felt like at least 23. So we got like 45 minutes left, I think. Would be my guess. And we're back. Stephanie. You get to taste it again. It doesn't taste good when that happens, though. Yeah, see, Jonathan's whole edit this episode is important to the outcome, which tells me he could leave or he's a swing. I feel like she's talking to one of the more gamer-brained players in Camilla. Chrissy, let's go. I've been waiting for old Chrissy to come back. Camilla as a target feels like it won't land. I feel like Tiffany with the spike invisibility is more likely. Yeah, I mean, game-wise, it makes more sense to go after Camilla for sure. Because Tiffany wasn't in on the blind side. I love hearing that from Jonathan. I can't deal with his ripped shirt, though. I guess it could be Camilla, and the spike for Tiffany is for her to be able to like react. Wow, we're going right in. Okay. Time to stop walking because I need to eat something. I can't make it all the way. Putting the treadmill away for a moment. All right. If I had to guess, I honestly, okay. If I, let's try to make predictions. I think, man, something is telling me it's just Genevieve. Genevieve and Joe is really hard. I, something in my gut is telling me Genevieve. Camilla or Chrissy? Man, it's also tough. I think it's Chrissy. Or no, I think it's Camilla. And then Colby Coach. I think it's Colby. Those are my guesses. But Colby's the only one I'm sure about. The other two are really up in the air for me. I could go either way. All right, I'll be right back. Oh, just in time. You bet on the meal. What were the options? It's not too hard to predict. Most of my dinners are pretty similar. A bowl of something is kind of cheating. Hey, buddy. There are still some people that this is their first tribal. Here, come say hi. Oh, okay. Come on. Blood Moon is so silly. It's so silly. One of my video games that I play. Is she talking about Bloodborne? No. Is she talking about Zelda? Oh, Breath of the Wild. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just feel like they've invested a lot of effort into Chrissy and obviously zero effort into the group of Camilla, Tiffany, whoever. I'm realizing that they made a group of 5 people, 4 of whom were women, and the man was the center of attention. Now, he was the swing vote, but this is not going to help the reputation. All right, I'm getting bored. Mr. Jeff is silly by itself. If you do it twice in a row, chicken, rice, and potatoes, by the way. If you said chicken and rice, you're close enough. I think it's Camilla. I really do. I'm leaning more and more. Camilla. Ooh, what did I tell you? She's so gamer brained. I love it. I hate to lose Camilla. Like, I genuinely hate to lose Camilla because I love her. But I also love Chrissy. And Camilla's edit was so dead that, it was more to like put her out of her misery than anything. Also, like, pretty rough spot for her. Like, she kind of got twisted out a bit. Like, not major fault to her here. They're all looking because they're shining like this like blood moon thing, and they're all used to going to tribal and notice that it's different. Maybe it is Joe. Man, Genevieve feels so premature edit wise. Joe makes so much more sense. And this is truncated. Hmm. I think maybe I'm switching. I think it's Joe. Honestly, all this is doing to me with the three tribals is like making it feel less impactful than it normally would. Okay, now it feels like they're trying to misdirect me. Let's have Devins explain why it's not Joe, or why it could be Joe. Now I feel like it's Genevieve again. If Genevieve plays the shot in the dark, that alone I think cements her. The first person all game to correctly recognize she needs to play it. Hmm. I don't know if I can make the prediction on it. I probably shouldn't. Hmm. I can't really even do like vote red. First person Jeff asks a question to in on the next tribe. Suri, D, Emily, Coach, Colby. So this is not who speaks first. It's who does Jeff ask a question to first. That could get wonky. It's if somebody answers a question from Jeff, it counts, even if it wasn't directed at them. But if it was directed, that's the person, even if somebody interrupts. Maybe a little strange, but we should know when we see it. So Genevieve is pretty convinced it's her, which tells me it's probably her. But you would try to convince Genevieve it's her to flush whatever she has and then vote Joe to be safe, if that's what you were trying to do. The problem is Jeff asks Devins like the two major reasons for why he would go Joe. And Devins gives him those two reasons. We're convinced that she has something, and we should be thinking about who's on the jury. And if you're trying to trick Genevieve into thinking it might not be her, you probably don't say those things at tribal. And the fact that Genevieve is still considering the even remote option that she might not play her shot in the dark based on Christian potentially voting with her tells me that that was the attempt to get her to not play anything because they are putting votes on her. So I'm on Genevieve again. I think edit wise, I don't like it as much, but I think the signs are pointing me in that direction right now. But I mean, obviously, like I'm clearly not very sure. Long commercial, long commercial. And we're back. Finally. She did it. I forgot Aubrey still had the idol to play. Valiant effort. Aubrey does not play the idol. Pretty classic thing to do. She didn't need to. It's just all the votes are Genevieve. It's such a good coat. What an exit. What an exit from Genevieve. Plays the shot in the dark correctly. Hands her coat to her arch nemesis to show there's no hard feelings. I'm really curious to know who would have been voted out if it had been one big 17-person vote. Colby. I kind of hate that Colby's going out first tribal he goes to. Weird they save this one for last. This is easily the most slam dunk one for me. Once again, the person knows they're going out, and Jeff asks a question to try to make it seem like it's not so dead set. And the players indulge, which means it is locked. Suri, the cold-blooded killer. Barely alive. I don't think we need coach's input here. She really wants to switch it to coach. Getting sent out without a vote is such a dagger. They just show her writing. She wrote C. Oh, okay. They love it when they have the same few letters to start. It's probably the same. It's gonna be all Colby, just like Genevieve. Tonight on Survivor, we borrowed two concepts from Big Brother. First, the triple eviction. Second, unanimous votes. Man, what a send off for Colby, though. You know what I mean? Kind of a rough go of it, but think about the last time Colby was on Survivor. It was Heroes versus Villains, where he was dunked on. This feels like the proper, like his experience in this season was getting injured, losing an ally to a medevac, getting twist screwed, losing his vote, getting voted out unanimously at the first tribal council he goes to without ever casting a single vote. All in all, a pretty terrible run in terms of outcomes. But this feels like the actual evolution and final conclusion to the story of Colby Donaldson that we knew of 25 years ago. And which is exactly what I was hoping for. I think I remember on a podcast at one point I was saying um that I was really excited to see Colby to have a conclusion to his story because Heroes versus Villains felt unfinished. Um so yeah, I I don't like that it was Colby, but I'm happy we got the Colby we did here. I think they did justice to Colby. And Suri has more blood on her hands. Suri Suri has a lot of blood on her hands. Suri has taken out a lot of big names. Like individually, because she has these moments of like, I know you both want one thing, or I know you all want one thing, but I'm gonna put my foot down and say we gotta do this thing. If anything, it's like that makes the getting voted out even better for Colby. He's like, who better to be voted out by than Suri flipping the vote against you because she finds you to be a threat and putting her foot down and saying these people are stupid if they don't vote you out. You're one of those people, you know? All right, and we're back. Yep, see, we introduced Tiffany so that she could react to the vote. Yep. Why is Coach so mad? See, Colby gets to say that. You know how many people try to say that in their exit interview? Like, oh man, well, I'm leaving with my head held high. I've changed. I'm the real winner. Like, Colby actually has earned those words. It's been a 25-year journey for him, not a 3-week journey, you know? Um, you got to imagine too that like he was probably prepared for it with the foot injury to some degree, though I do think that it would have lowered his threat level a little, and he might have actually made a decent run. Um, but who knows? Who knows? Either way, I think a mixed episode. The interruption didn't help, but overall good. I think any episode that is able to do justice to the show's legacy on a season like this, I think is a good episode. Did they overhype the blood moon? Yeah. Um were the votes too lopsided? Yeah, two of them were. Um but you know what else I think that worked for this episode is that we didn't we didn't overexpose Christian again. We still got Christian, but he wasn't the focus of the episode, which is very necessary after him being the focus of the first 5 episodes. He was still in it because he still went to tribal, but it was very refreshing to get a full set of strategy, voting, relationships, etc., from the other people on the cast. But yeah, I think that's where we're at. So thank you for joining. Of course, if you're not on the Patreon, check it out. Give it a little check. Give the Patreon a little check out. You can join me live on there if you want, or watch all of the other coverage I'm doing over on Patreon. Jet Lag, House of Villains, Australian Survivor, Genius, all kinds of fun stuff. And in the meantime, I'll be back next week with some more Survivor 50. Having a good time. I think that's it. That's what I got. Thanks for joining. Oh, and if you haven't checked out, I'm still doing tastemakers occasionally. We talked about Project Hail Mary, most recent tastemakers podcast a couple days ago. Good movie. All right. See you guys later.